AITA for starting an argument because my boyfriend boarded a plane before me? My boyfriend, 26M, and I, 24F, traveled by plane to go to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. We checked in together and had different boarding groups. He was Group 1, since he is active duty military. I was Group 3, for being a platinum cardholder on the airline. This is significant since both groups are considered priority boarding. We are both under the impression that boarding groups do not necessarily matter. We are seasoned travelers, very efficient when boarding planes, and the only thing that does matter is that we are on the plane before the main groups, which are the people who do not travel often and are generally slower when boarding planes. When the plane started boarding, they obviously called Group 1 first, the group for active duty military and unaccompanied minors, and my boyfriend gets up and boards without me. I was annoyed, since Groups 1 and 2 are both super small, and Group 3, my group, usually gets called super fast, if not combined with Group 2. After my group gets called, literally less than 5 minutes later, and I get on the plane, I told him he could have waited for my group to get called and we could have boarded together. He told me that it wasn't a big deal, and I said it was since we were traveling together. He had never done that before. Why would he do it randomly now? And he didn't have a reason besides, it's for me. Why wouldn't I use that group? Even though my group is still considered priority boarding. We got into a mild argument about it on the plane. Nothing huge since we were, well, on a plane. He thinks I'm being an asshole for starting an argument and being upset about him boarding before me, but I think it's justified since he had never done it before and he didn't say anything prior. This isn't a new thing, where he just joined the military. He's been a D for 8 years. We have traveled together multiple times. I think I have seen him use his military ID for a discount one time in the entire time I have known him. Anyway, AITA for being annoyed at him and starting an argument for boarding before me? I'm honestly mad I wasted my time reading this. Get a damn grip. YTA. Yada, it's not a big deal. You see him again like 5 minutes later. Why cause drama about it? Really, you are an adult, you can board a plane alone. AITA for constantly complaining about the dog. I work from home and am a mom of 3. They are school-aged. I met my husband 6 years ago, 2 years after me and my children's father split. We currently live in an apartment on the 4th floor. It's small and getting cramped as the kids get older, so we have been in search of a bigger place for over a year at this point but haven't had any luck. My husband got severely depressed last year after family stuff happened and during this time decided he needed an emotional support animal and opted for a dog. I begged him to wait it out until we got into a house and he just wouldn't budge on the issue. Needed a dog right then and there, and instead of getting an already trained dog, they have a facility in our area that trains both medical and emotional pets. He went out and got a puppy. A herding dog no less. I all but begged and pleaded that he return the dog for another breed because I know how high maintenance herding dogs are, but he refused because he fell in love with her. The dog did help him out in a sense, but her behaviors are all over the place and every time we train her out of one thing, she regresses in another area. It's been harder for me to accept because I never wanted this. My husband just went back to work 7 months ago and now all of the responsibilities have fallen off on me because I'm the one working from home. Just to outline a few things here. I have been written up twice now for having to jump off of my work computer to go tend to the dog, who gets on the table, gets in the garbage, takes off down the street on potty breaks after wiggling out of her harness and or breaking them just to come back upstairs and take a shit on my floor, etc. The other day she latched onto my leg while I was vacuuming because of the noise, I'm assuming. She constantly goes after the cat. I'm just fed up, completely. Because, again, this is not what I wanted and now I'm struggling to maintain work and an animal with behavioral issues. So my husband texts me every day while he is working and we hardly have good days in this house. So when he asks how I am or how the dog is being, I straight up tell him exactly what's going on here. Well, yesterday he texted and I said I couldn't do this anymore. He needed to find someone to take the dog during the day because I'm done. Well beyond my limit here. He immediately starts berating me for constantly fucking complaining about the dog versus try to bond with her because she is probably acting out due to your bullshit. Keep in mind she does these behaviors even with him home, so it's definitely not me. AITA? NTA. But your husband is. He is relying on the dog for emotional support, but he's not even providing for her basic needs. She's acting out because she hasn't been trained and she's no getting enough activity. He had the option of getting a trained emotional support animal, but he didn't get one, and while an animal doesn't need ESA training, pets do need basic training. Work dogs need to be active, you need peace to work. You might lose your job. It sounds like your husband doesn't care about your needs or the dog's needs. But you both are if you keep this dog. It is not only a bad fit, who gets a hyper-active breed when they live on the 4th floor of an apartment? The dog obviously isn't getting enough exercise, physically and mentally, attention or training. The dog is acting out as a plea. This is heartbreaking. Herding dogs are really intelligent. You need to work them both physically and mentally. They are working dogs.